Hello and welcome. Right, I thought we'd just do this last little bit of a job. I don't think there's any more we need to chop. I don't want to like go mad and chop things that don't need chopping. We do need to unfold the Gordon Bennett is still. I think I've got to do a little something with this. Like it's got, because this isn't even full, and yet this is sort of struggling with it already. You know, it's 20 tons. Surely it shouldn't struggle with it yet, you'd have thought, but it is. So this has got to be the design of the actual thing, not really the weight in it. So we need to take a wide swing, and I think probably a little bit too soon on lowering that. Ooh, yeah. Oh, that's true. I have a... Right, okay. I have a Thrustmaster. Oh, no, it is. It's... Ooh, okay. Yeah, but am I actually steering with it? Is it... Oh, it is actually, yeah. The only thing I find is like, well, how are you supposed to control your cameras? You see, you automatically do this, and this is what I was like saying. Yeah, you automatically do your cameras automatically. Right, okay, I knew I'd hit something on the way in. These are the kind of things that you do have to do, unfortunately, when trees are in the game. It's not quite as cut and dry as you think. Yeah, but I don't want to really chop that entire tree down for the sake of a tree limb. Let's see if we can deal with this. Yeah, it's the things you sort of forget about that you control with the gamepad. Oh, come on, give a man a break. Seriously? Yeah, obviously I've got the old heavy bundle, and I didn't give it enough time, and that's what I thought. And I was sort of arguing with the AI the other day, and I was thinking, I've got it can really add immersion, it's really good. But yeah, what about the cameras that I automatically do that I don't even realise I'm doing? You know, what about those? Because like, I'm not controlling my cameras with this thing, so I need to make it actually. Because otherwise I can't be like using a steering wheel and cameras at the same time. You just can't do it. Oh, fantastic. That's it. I think that's it now. Hopefully that'll sort it. So let's go back to try to use the Thrustmaster. So how do we control... Yeah, it's true. You've got to like give it a chance, haven't you? Really. Right. So how do I reverse? Now that is true. You see, we don't really have time for this. I think it's one of those things where I need to. I mean, I am going to like try it, especially for forward, because I'm sure, like anything, practice makes perfect. But I mean, yeah, you can see I'm controlling the cameras. You do it automatically. And this is what I was sort of saying with the gamepad. It does so much. And although the fine control might be better with a steering wheel, it might be, it's quite possible that it could. If you lose too much of the other things that you don't even realise you're doing with the gamepad, then you like think, well, what's the point? Right, so let's switch over. Let's at least try to have a go. So we need a bit of like... Okie dokie. Right, so... Yeah, I'm keeping automatic gears. I thought it was too much. And also, apparently, a lot of people report that it's not very good anyway. Now, how do I... Yeah, and see, this is what I'm saying. It's like, that's what I meant to do. Yeah, the auger. There's so much you do from your gamepad. It's unbelievable. There is. I mean, I've got my side panel, the original side panel, which I've always known I don't use it enough because I do most things from the only thing I do on my side panel is indicating in lights. Really, occasionally, I used to do the time with it, but like now the keys I use, 7 and 8, the keys are different from the side panel one. The side panel only does time up to, let me show you. It only goes up to the game max of 360. If you press 7 and 8, it goes up to super duper speeds, which I'm always using, always. So somehow I need to do the side panel to do that. Again, I realise this. I haven't done it because I found the alternative on the keyboard. Right, okay, so we've done that. So what are we doing? I think I should keep me thing, and I should gradually, bit by bit, try to introduce the foot pedals and all the rest of it. Yeah, it's all of this. It's the cameras that you automatically do that you just don't realise. Now, how am I supposed to do that on this? Are you not supposed to do this? Ah. Oh, no, that's tab. Apologies. There will be a bit of... Yeah, but it's still not tilting the cameras, is it? Yeah, there's no automatic tilt. What I mean is we all automatically like do this with, you know, you do swirling of your camera angles. So if you're not able to do that on the Thrustmaster, and you're not, then it's not particularly... It's worse. We're going backwards, and to me that's not better. I'm just, you know, because of my immersion. This is what I was sort of saying last night. I bought the, and I bought a good one as well, the headsets, the 3D, and it was not cheap, and I bought it primarily for the channel. My family treated me one Christmas. Have I had that out? Yeah, I have. I tried it initially. As soon as I realised it was no good for actually the resolution was totally inferior, and you couldn't really see the 3D. If I'd have done it in 3D, the only person it would have been good for would be me. But if I'm creating content, it's no good for content. So I have not had that out since the sort of week or two. So it was a total waste of money. But again, that if you're doing things for a hobby, it is often that way. You find, well, it's not quite working, so I'm not going to do it. Right, so water we've done. I believe our productions are all sound. We are nearly ready. Yeah, we've got to go through till tomorrow. Animals are done, so let's go through till about 2 o'clock, our usual. And we'll have a look briefly in the sales. We're not really relying on them at all. Oh, we have got to do that, though. We have. Okay. That's a reminder. Ooh, now that's a nice thing to actually, that's going to gain us a bit of cash. So we'll dabble. That's 30,000. That's definitely worth doing. Right, did we not buy my trailer? That was only for really selling. It was. Let's grab the tractor that I almost went to do all the jobs with, but then I thought, oh no, we've got the big 521 there. That would be much better, which it would for that task. This is a good tractor though, 300 horsepower. Right, we do. Ooh. I think this is the dead zone on the steering wheel is affecting the gamepad. Yeah, it's like I'm steering in a way that I'm not used to steering. Right, so then let's go grab the... Are we going to time-lapse this? Ooh, wow, that's well weird. That's got to be the steering wheel that's... Oh my, sorry, robot, but I'm like a madman now where seemingly I can't control because I have a game... Let's try it, though. Let's try it. Yeah, but look at my angle. Look at my camera angle. You've got to get that right first, and because it can't control it. I must have dead zones because it's vile. Yeah, it is. Right, okay. Let's switch this off. It's a beast and it's affecting everything else. Right. I think the learning curve thing I'm going to have to sort of do myself. Is that better? Has it got... Yeah, it's hard to tell. It is hard to tell. No, it seems back to normal. Yeah, it's like the steering wheel was taking over on like the dead zones that it's got on this. So yeah, I hope it's not going to be a white elephant. I really do. Because I don't mind giving it the time, but yeah, and if it does add a bit of immersion, then that's fantastic. But oh no, this turns much better than that. It's applied a dead zone or something. Just having it on has sort of like altered things. I can feel the difference between normal steering or... No, I can. It's definitely worse. I do love the speed of this. It's amazing. Right, let's get this done. Yeah, it's turning really slowly. And this is a really good steerer. Yeah, this is terrible. What the on earth is that? I nearly swore then. What is it doing? What has it done? This is almost unusable now. You know, like it's weird, but you know how things steer normally because you know I've used this gamepad year in year out, and it's sort of like the steering's terrible. And this is one of the best things in the game for steering, so that's what I'm saying. It's it's something for the worse, really for the worse. I thought I'd done that. I didn't think I'd got that right. I'm letting it stress me out, so it's already decimating my game because it's actually made things worse, not better. I mean, look at how little the telehandler wheels are turning. It's really gone, and I did try and calibrate it, but I didn't realize now this was my fault. I was actually calibrating the original side panel, so the camera's going all over the place was actually the side panel, because I took away their dead zone, and they do need a dead zone because they're old tech. They do definitely need. So when I took that away, actually the cameras, I put the dead zones back in. Good job I remembered what they were, like 14 calibration on all of them. But yeah, you can see that the telehandler wheels are hardly like turning. And if that's supposed to be calibrated for the, you know, the Thrustmaster, well, it's now gone into this, and it's like made this worse. And that to me, in what way can you like say that's better? That's so much worse. So all this immersion, you know, like the AI was going, oh, it's immersion. Well, it's not immersion if my steering's worse. That's like worse. That's not. So you're telling me that a steering wheel in real life, which I drive a car every day, is like that bad? Because like if that's me buying a steering wheel, I'd sooner go back to a gamepad. Wow, that was a bad. Oh, it was. That's bad. I never expected anything like that. So, you know, if you stress yourself out, and I am obviously stressed, because it's weird. You get used to things being what they're used to. Now, I know there's an element of change. I'm not very good at it, but having done this many times, like every time Office changes with Microsoft, and as it used to be, obviously we're Office 365 now, so it's sort of like an ever-changing, slightly changing beast. Right, so let's switch that. Oh, what was it? Oh, that's... Yeah, I can't believe how little the front wheels are turning. You're having to like do about 4 maneuvers to get it to what it would have been normally with the gamepad. I don't class that as like in any way, shape or form. And the loss of the cameras, another massive thing. Huge. Yeah, you used to automatically pan with your cameras on your gamepad. I think the AI's are nuts. I think he's in league with advertisers for Thrustmaster. No, it was actually... It was telling me of a Nadira one. This one that uses proper engine car grade components. 300 odd quid. I thought, I'm not investing 300 quid in a bit of kit that may or may not, all my life, may or may not aid me in my farming simulator. And going on the, what I'm seeing with this, I actually think I was right. And that my instincts were right, and the immersion factor is nothing if rubbish, if it's a worse thing than before. Yeah, it's terrible. Steering like the worst sort of thing in the game. Apologies for the whinge, and I'm verbalising what I'm going through because it is horrible. You can see it's a fantastic telehandler that's performing like one of the old John Deeres, because they were one of the worst steers I've ever had in the game. Those old John Deeres that we had in FS25, and they didn't really look particularly old either, but they were just, the steering was just probably the worst of any of any tractor I've ever had. I was like, oh my life, it's no wonder you're not a massive fan of John Deere when like someone brings a John Deere like this in the game and you like think, I never want a John Deere again, it's horrible. But then of course, more balanced, I'd got the what I call the insect with the 4 smaller tracks on each wheel. Now that was a pleasure, and it was a really big tractor. It was the heaviest tractor we've got in the game, 27 odd tons, something like that it was, and it did not perform like it was 28 odd tons. It was 27.8 or something like that, so it was practically 28 tons, and it was a beautiful thing. It really was very, very nice. Alright, so I'm going to go out because I can't cope with this, it's ridiculous, and I'm going to like see if me going in and out of the game's going to detect that the Thrustmaster is no longer on. So I'm going to be right back. See you shortly. Right, let's try that and see whether or not this works. It is amazing, isn't it? How clever your brain is. And you sort of forget, like, I'm doing the cameras all of the time, and you automatically do that, and you totally forget that. Then you'll go into something like the Thrustmaster, you've got to have already got the camera angle right, which means you're stuck with a single camera angle, and you normally just wouldn't have that. So it really is sort of very poor in a way. Right, we've done the animals. We've not taken our... Yeah, we were just doing that, weren't we? You will do. You're close enough. Just see the telehandler, just to see, is it back to normal? Because obviously it still did detect it, and it's got all of the... Yeah, look at the wheels. Completely different. Are they? I don't know that they are. I'm not sure that they are, actually. Yeah, no, they look the same. So is it... No, those wheels look as good as ever. Does it steer as like it's normal? Is it that the Yakas... Yeah, true. Is it because Yakas is new? Is it that actually I'm not used to Yakas yet, and his is different on the steering, not as good? Which is a bit of a negative, because I've got to be honest, the one thing about a telehandler... Let's just have a look at the Rote factory as well and see what it's... It was up to 43,000 litres. What is it down to now? 28. So not bad. We're going to leave it again. I'm going to put everything in here and going to see how the clothes are doing. Excellent. Right. So do we need? No, we know we've got a shed load of honey, so we're all right. There's a lot of tractors on this Let's Play. It took me ages to actually come in. So wool. How much wool have we got in there? Silk, 37 tons in there. Milk. It's churned through a lot already. Oats. Oh wow. Yeah, I've turned that down. The oats now. I should show you. I did it to exactly what I said. Only 4. Let's have a look at the water. Wool, 26,000 litres as well. So we need to check. Clothes is, it's where we let. Is the clothes actually doing anything? When we looked last, it was 231. We've just gone through 4 odd hours, so that should be more, you'd have thought, because we've got the fabric wool going. So unless it's done a complete one outside because we've told it to spawn, so it's possible. Let's have a look, because it is true, we shouldn't really have it on 231 still, and the fabric's definitely like going. So have we got any clothes? No cheese, no clothes. Milk bottle. No, yeah, it's Buffalo milk bottle. Yeah, these are the 7,000 litre pallets. So no, we haven't. So that's a little bit odd. That may need some tweaking. Let's go through till about 6 o'clock, and we will keep our beady eyes on that, because I am intrigued. I'm not done closing this, I don't think. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock even. Stick my light on, and let's have a look. What are you? 363. It's going up very slowly, but it's not supposed to be super duper. An entire month. When we've gone, we'll have a look what it is in the morning and see. That is definitely going up, but only a little. Right, so any biggies? Nope. Oh, all my life, you've just gone through the entire night. The entire night. That was not what I expected to do at all. I get carried away sometimes with these controls. No, we've looked. There's nothing. Right, so let's go through till 8 o'clock. There was nothing there anyway, so it's... Right, brilliant. Now, there are no more pallets again. No more pallets. No more space at the inn. The Rabbit-Steiger. Actually, strangely enough, the Steiger is very similar to the sculpting on, again, because it's probably the similar age to the machine that I'm going to do. I'm not going to grab the Steiger. No, it is different. It's like more, it's still got a little bit more angularness going on, its own unique shape. Not sure about the shape of my articulated back. That's more like the articulated back than mine. Mine's a little bit lithe because I was trying to make it lithe, and now I'm trying to make it boxy, so I might have to increase the boxiness on it a little. But there's not a lot to change on it to make it into what I wish. Right, anyway, enough of this modding talk. So no, we didn't buy anything. We now need to do our usual before we do anything. Yeah, if I get us to, let's just check. Are our crops? Oh yeah, we were going to look at that as well. 856. I don't think that's, the clothes are quite right. That's almost a complete month now. At least half a month. So it's done 856 litres, which is rather pathetic. Fabric is doing all right. So the fabric and the clothes is a total fail. Whatever, like, I've got it going at, it's not right. So we need to sort that out, because this is supposed to be a super, not a like production. So we need to like really ramp that up. I shall have to compare with a super, just the clothes factory, and see what the cycles are supposed to be on that. Now please don't scrape along the wall this time. Right, 2875. We were supposed to be checking the crops. That was the other job we were going to do, because they didn't look like they were done, but it's hard to... Oh, they are. Yes, so that's what we're going to be doing next session. This may be a shorter session, but we've still got plenty to do. Get all of these jobs done. Wow, we are really... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ropes. Now, did I do the rope factor as a double? Yeah, I'm going to have to do that again. Yeah, I need to, like... I'm a terror for moving on to a new project. But not, like, completely finishing the others. I mean, the little tweaks, admittedly, but what I mean is I could really do with doing a second set of pallets on almost all of the things. It's going to be one of those things that I need to do one Saturday or Sunday where I think we need to get these jobs done. I do occasionally do that where I think, yeah, you've got to do it. So we've got Tate's. We've got the 2 sublevamuses. I think we've got enough. We do need to... The only thing that is bad on this is I haven't really got enough trailers. Yeah, we've got like a real monster. Then we've got a 50-tonner. The little one, which is quite good enough to keep up for the sheep and goats. But that's it. And this is a big farm. You know, we could probably at least do the 50 or a 70-tonner. Yeah, I think actually that's true. Let's grab a 70-tonner. Are we going to buy it? I'm getting into the habit now of buying the second-hand equipment. I really am. Right. So then, the beautiful, and I love it in the colour as it is, so this is what we are going to buy. Yes. It's well worth that. My favourite all-time trailer. Right, so then let's... Where we need to grab the tanker, because I would imagine the slurry's up to like almost a complete filled one this morning. I'd imagine. Right. I can sort of see... Wow, that's quite a lot. I can see why. Now, I've seen setups with the... let me turn my light off. With the steering wheel, where they've got 2 joysticks, and I'm like, yeah, but how do you control 2 joysticks at the same time as your steering wheel? That's not... That doesn't add immersion, that adds complication. What I mean is, in real life, if I'm driving a car, I've got a steering wheel and pedals. Now, if I'm in a game and there's additional controls and you add another joystick for me to control the camera element, yeah, but I'm steering and I've got my feet on the pedals. How is that better? This is the sort of what I'm trying to say. In my personal opinion, like, people go about immersion, and I'm like, yeah, that's not immersion. Not if it's worse. You know, I mean, you're doing so many things on a gamepad. Okay, it's probably not. I'm not sure, because what I was seeing, it wasn't particularly terribly good. It's left, I think. I'm sure it is left. It's the quickest to get to it, I'm sure. Yeah, just playing devil's advocate to myself, really. I am going to give it a shot. I'm not like going to give in quite this easily, but there's obviously things, and I don't know that it was. It could be that Yakas is just a worse telehandler for, like, steering. I've only ever used it at the store on one of the Let's Plays, and it was adequate for that. And I never, like... But obviously, I've got used to using... the telehandler that we just sold, I can't remember its brand. I can see it, but I just can't think of what it is. Ooh. Okay, so you may as well get a full one and go inside, because, wow, we've actually filled this now. Let's go and fill this, and we'll do a straw run inside. We've definitely not filled the... It is true, though. I still stick by what I said. The Giants definitely made a mistake in that, and they didn't put the hay in the right thing. And typical Giants, they never ever fix something. Like the cereal factory, the biggest, most rubbish production that anyone could ever saddle themselves with. Still in the game, still as bad as ever. It doesn't even, it loses money. If you work out the sale of your inputs, they are equal to the outputs. That's not a business. That's a like, why would you do that? Yeah, I did have it on one Let's Play. I didn't go that far with it. It's one of Oxygen yeah, no, it was an Oxygen David map. It was a good one, but I couldn't get into it. I did about 7 or 8 goes with it. Let's grab some hay. Whichever comes first, yes. And I got given the cereal factory. And I was obviously trying, I was thinking, yeah, this honey's worth a lot of money, though, that I'm chucking in here like it's, like, used, worthless. So, and then I was like, yeah, but that oats is quite, it's one of the best, like, things for cash. And yet, I'm not really getting an awful lot for, like, the finished product. And I'm sticking 7 things in. So when I worked out all of the individual inputs, like for 1,000 litres of each of those, I was like, but these are almost identical to like what your... Right, okay, so we've actually finished doing that. So let's go give the... How much space is there for the Swiss? 187, 23, 33, 38. So if we just grab about 30 odd tons, we are doing the job of the little tractor. So do 30. No more. That'll do. That'll do. Because he's got a little bit in as well. Yeah, so it could be that Yakas really is like not... Because these seem to be turning as... I don't know the... No, the articulation's definitely as it should be, definitely. The art is probably one of the best, because the articulation on that is really quite phenomenal. So that would be one that... yeah. And I haven't tweaked it either. It's the articulation joint, I think, in it that is really quite phenomenal. Right, okay, you actually found the dumpy bit then. Okay, I think we probably could do with a bit of diesel. Not really, that was... Oh, it was. No, it was more than you think. Okay, now I seemingly can't find the... Okay, we found it now. Right, they're not agreeing. Right, so, no, we do need to do a... And then we'll go grab that lot. Get everything ready for the next session, and then we will crack on. So let's get all these auxiliary jobs done. So we want some... As I said, TMR. Why has that gone right back to the beginning? Diesel. Yeah. Yeah, you forget sometimes that you touch something else that you didn't realise you'd done, so... Brilliant. Didn't... No, we've got a lot of silage, it's true. No, we're doing our silage to the BGA, we're not forgetting. No, we really are alright. So let's have a... No, we don't do it that way. We get out and have a look like this. I always keep forgetting. Well, I would say that's fairly good. Even the mineral feed is not bad. 57 tonnes. Oh, no, we did have a little bit left. Yeah, I was going to say, why have I got more than 47 tonnes? Right, so that's all done. Let's grab all the bits and bobs. How much? Yeah, have a look at the clothes. I want to focus on this a little bit. Oh, no, I think we did. Yeah, no, we've already done it. Oat milk, 41,000 litres. Is there any oats left? Because obviously I've slowed it down now. But it was already... Yeah, no, it is. That's more like it. That's not terrible. So fabric, cotton... No, clothes is out. 862, yeah. No, we looked, it was 861. I thought I did, but I just... Sometimes I get a bit confused about, like, how far I've gone through time since a certain point in time. But, yeah, it's exactly all my life. I should not tussle with a 600, 700 and something horsepower tractor. It's a bad idea. Right, okay. Let's have a go then. So... Right, okay, let's just grab the telehandler from the store, because I'm intrigued now, because that obviously is the original one. How far does its wheels turn? Ooh, much, much more. Have I got this different steering switched on that? That's what I'm used to. Ah, no, it did say something about the steering now by default was another steering on this. That's what it'll be. So we need to change the steering mode. Yeah, that's it. All-wheel steering, yeah. That's going to be... That's more like it. And see, I did know I was right. That it was like very much worse than I'm used to. So it was nothing at all to do with the steering wheel, though. I cannot blame that. Because it really is nothing to do with that at all. That's the trouble, though. You know when you introduce a new bit of tech and then something does go wrong, it's not really an illogical thing to do, because obviously it just coincides with the fact that actually Yakka did an update yesterday, and you're not sort of thinking about that at the time. You're thinking about the change that you're aware of, which is the fact you've added a steering wheel. Right, okay. Trying to think if there's anything I can do to combat the camera bits, because that's quite a serious flaw. You'd have to get used to like not mucking around with the camera. Now, no, of course, it's not the end of the world. You can do that, but I'm not sure that is something I want to get used to. Because it's a backward step, but there's got to be a bit of compromise with these type of things, and that's what I'm sort of trying to think. It's like not... There's bound to be something that's worse, something that's better, so I think I've got to give it a bit more of a chance. Beautiful paintwork on this as well. He's done a very good job. Right, let's grab some at the back, front even. Come on, you can do better than that. You can do better than that. Oh, it's moved at the front now. Just to add insult to injury, it's moved. Ah. This is why, one reason why I did want to create my own, I've spent a lot of time on doing the strap support for a telehandler job, and I've used exactly the same one as NASA, and I just can't make it work. I just weird. I mean, because I've modded some quite... The straps have really got me beat. Yeah, it's... horrible. I've sort of tried to follow along step by step on everything I can see Nasa's done. I've been sort of quite... I think I must have missed something. I've got to have done, because I know I've made a mistake on something, because I think the movement on the telehandler is different with mine. So I realised that, well, you've got to have done that differently, because like Nasa's is completely different from yours. Right, it's just... Yeah, but it's obviously picking three things up. Although it's very useful, and it is, there's no denying this, it sort of like breaks the immersion bubble, and you have to consciously not, you know, like go that far to make it actually work. Now, I'd imagine Our rope is probably catching up now a little. Ooh. They weren't there a minute ago. No, they weren't. I concur. They've that no more spacing is like going, oh, there's some space there now. You can actually grab the rest of the stuff out. Which still means it doesn't lose anything like FS22, which is definitely good. Yeah, like FS19, you could literally, if you didn't have enough space, you'd lose your stuff. Which is not nice when you've got a load of sheep and you're losing some of your wool. Thought I should be able to grab that as well. I mean, it is useful, but what I mean is it looks totally... You know, like, how is that third one on the left held up? Now, we know we've got strap support, but it still isn't right. The physics are wrong. You know, as in, like, that, it just would not, like, look like that. It would be dragging downwards and look a right mess if you were trying to strap that like that. Okay, all right, then you can be awkward. Let's see. You're tiny as well, so this is the oddments. I hate doing the ones wrongly because they half the time they waited to sort of turn themselves back over, so any excuse and they do actually turn back over. Did I do all of those? That's true. Right, let's have a quick look at the rope factory. Oh, seriously, I think we need to stick some in there. Now that is doing well. And we've seen the clothes are doing terrible, so that I need to tweak quite badly, severely. Both the fabric and the clothes need to be done quite a lot more. So this time we're going to go into the rope maker, because that's going to, like... Yeah, now that is too high still. Because that really has... That was 20 something, and it's like gone down to 7. That's 20 odd tons. That's too good. It is. So this needs tweaking down a little. Stick that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4,397 though. Well, any jobs with how does the grass doing? That's what I would like to see. Excellent. Yeah, let's get the I don't think we need to. The honey seemed to be like a tremendous amount of honey in this. 36,000 litres. It's not going down a lot, is it? Because it's not any of these. No, the chocolate's all working as well. Yeah, honey chocolate's happy too, because we've just seen there's a load in there. Oat milk is up to... We saw it a few minutes ago. We did. So as the oat was down to 14. Yeah, that's right. Smashing. So not bad. Grass. I was going to show you the grass one. So digestate. Water's gone down an awful lot. So I'd imagine, yeah, the grass has gone. That's how good that is. Now that one, this one does do a lot, and this is the mini, and it's the bionic mini. So it's not just a mini; it's a bionic mini. So it's fairly decent. We've not done anything with the straw. We've got 197,000 litres in there. Got loads of digestate. Is there anything we can be doing with digestate and straw? Yeah, we've done that. That's going across, and that's all augmenting our income. I've got to be honest. One thing I am going to say, from FS22 to FS25, I can't even tell I've got the biogas plant on. It's sort of like I can see my money ticking up very slightly, but I'm like, if I'd used disturbs in FS22, like I could feel like I was earning money, but like FS25 with the biogas plant, I can see it's ripping loads of manure, loads of slurry, but I'm like looking at my amounts, and we seem to be doing better off the shop for the income going up than the BJ. And I'm like, well, what is the BJ doing? Is it actually doing anything? Because you've got no control over the money or anything on these. Maybe it's the hard economy element. No, it could be true. Yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah, if it's halved the income. Yeah, no, that would make sense because I didn't play on hard economy very much. It is really very poor. I'm not noticing it hardly at all. That probably is very much so. Just use the arty for 1 minute just to sort of see how good that is on this. I'm quite pleased with the modelling on this, but I'm also, I've got all the modelling right. Most things are sort of okay, and now I'm going to have to like change it all again. Yeah, I think that rear end, I think I'm going to have to completely change that because it's sort of, if we look at the big tractors, we've got the 9, which is close to, it's a newer model. If you look at the rear end, it's only marginally less big than, yeah, that, and it also wants those adding. I'm going to base it upon this kind of thing in the game, roughly, but it doesn't have those side things. Oh, no, I think it does, actually. I've actually taken a picture of it so I can study and try and do it, but it's not got, it's very flat, and it's more square than that. That's like more narrow. Obviously, the older ones are much more boxy and took up quite a lot more room. They're really broad and big. So yeah, this is a much more modern sculpting. And the black, there was no black. It was just red and yellow. Yeah, so no, we don't. We're just admiring the paint job. Yeah, so this, I think I'm going to sort of, well, it's good in a way, because obviously this was based upon GTX's Deutz. It started its life as that, but it's been completely changed, obviously. But I mean, I needed a basic shape, and it was a basic shape. You can still probably see that with the stairs, because it was quite a unique thing, and he hasn't been using it. But obviously, it isn't his now anyway. As in, like, this is only taken from that, and then blended and ripped, and the silver work and all that, that's all my choice. The chroming on the engine is all mine, but the basic shape, you can't escape from the fact that it was GTX. So really, if I've now got to go back to the drawing board, it's not going to be anybody's but mine, and then it stops any squabbling that would about, oh, you started with my shape and you've released it on the mod of this tractor, and so I'm glad in a way I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board, because the what is going to be completely different. So yeah, I'm pleased. But that is where we're going to leave it. We have a massive monster harvest to do of a huge amount of fields. Yeah, this is there might be more than one session, I would imagine, because I mean the potatoes themselves, that is like over half of what we got to do. The other fields are like, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the Sublivimus on this one on its own, and I'm going to start on field 40, and I'm going to keep running backwards and forwards to the multifactory because it's only just down the road. I'll do the same with 37. Hopefully by that time it'll have made a serious impact. Then I'll assist on this one so that we can both get down, and then maybe, if I suppose, if it's done quite a good job on this one, I'll move it on to 32 while I finish off 34, because we won't get in each other's way then. And then, like, if I'm still struggling and he's finished 32, we can move on to 34. That's what I'm thinking we're going to do. Let's just grab the 70 tonner because we're going to need that. So let's just grab. You will do nicely. It has had wood chips. I've got to imagine this is one thing if you were going to do this. Also, we can wash it. We just need to wash it out, don't we? I'm missing my little Tiger car because I use it for washing out now, and I've not got a washer. We need to stick a washer down. I do insist on this realism, like that you've got a washer. Do you need to do this if you've had like manure and that in the back? It's like, you know, really. No, it's that one. You were right. Tools. It's such a good value. This 500 Carche. It is. Right, so then let's grab the wash. Yeah, I do my little Tiger. I use it now for me washer. Again, thanks to Akimobile. Definitely. He showed me how to do it, so. Even if he doesn't realise he did. No, modders, he knew that the modders looked inside his mod because he left a note to basically say, if you're going to use this, so he was talking to me and every other modder that ever like poked his head around the mod. If you're going to use this, you need to update this and you're responsible for it. So I thought, yeah, it's fair dues. But as soon as I thought it was a script-based mod, I thought, no, 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 I don't want it to be like that. So this can now be used. Let's just stick that down. So we shouldn't need this. We'll... Oh, no, we don't need that. No, 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 we don't need to, like, do that. It still can drop stuff in it. So we'll stick this ready for the potatoes. We'll go grab the 70-tonner. We've got the 50-tonner, which we can also do. So I suppose I could have... Yeah, it's true. No, because the tates are going to, like... well chocker this. Oh, it's quite a big headland. Ooh. It's not done like... So it's not just the amity. I wonder if it's just the mechanics for these big monstrous trailers, because other way. Yeah, we need to like reverse in really if we can not destroy crop now that giants have made this destroyable. Yeah, I was quite happy with the fact that it wasn't destroyable. And all of them were like that. And then all of a sudden, like, one day I went on and, like, all in my life I'm destroying crop. Yeah, it does mean if I use my old amity one, that obviously that you go over with your wheels first, you've got to have, like, narrows on. Which is a bit of a... Sort of giants forgot that themselves, that their own amity, you know, the amity that they brought in is now sort of a bit odd. Because like the amity you need like narrows on to actually use it now. Wrong one. Yeah, you do nicely. Yeah, now this is a nice steerer. This is good. It could do with a wash though. It's a little bit mucky. Well, I always think that a mucky tractor proves it's done plenty of work. Whereas if I've got a nice shiny tractor, it looks like I've not done anything. No, 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 we want 70-tonner. Yeah, so giants are waging war with any kind of AI. I mean, I don't completely know how they can completely tell. I mean, I can obviously on JMGaming, as you can sort of see, and I think he actually advertised the fact that he did that. So it'll be interesting to see how giants police this. Yeah, well, I mean, that sign for starters would go, because that was AI generated, you can tell, because no human would make the mistakes of some of the faces of these creatures, and the fact that the posts are going into the... Yeah, I left it because it's more of a... It's a bit of a prodigy, a bit of a prodigal son. It's sort of like, it's interesting and yet it's sort of not quite right, but it's do they call it an anachronym, where it's like a little bit different, similar but not quite right? And that's what I'm saying. The AI, they do, I mean, for saying they've got dictionaries poured into their head, they are terrible spellers, almost, you know. And you can sort of say, oh, you've got the spelling wrong on that, and they're like, yeah, and they'll spell it wrong again. And like, the amount of times, this is what I'm saying, I have used the AI, but I also have had to change things a lot when the AI have been tweaking things, because they're not very good at certain things. So frequently I will have like tweaked something. So I've got, yeah, let's put this up by 40, and then we might be able to at least get one load done. So we're going to be bringing the Sublevimuses into play. I'm looking forward to this. Yeah. The one sad thing is, it is coming to a close. Yeah, the Let's Play, we are nearly done our final year on Vouilly Normandy, which is sad in a way. Let's grab the Sublevamos without the header, and we'll grab... I can't remember which side it is. Yeah, this one. Now then, have you got your all-wheel steering? Yes, that's the one I want. No, it's not. There's another one. This is... Yeah, turn steering is the one I like. It's super duper. It is much better than all-wheel, in my opinion, of course. Well, it turns a lot quicker. It's quite... Well, obviously, hence the fact it's called turn steering. It's... If you oversteer with it, it like takes all of your power to actually control the steering. You see, how would I have done that if I would have either tree snatching? How would I have dealt with that with having a steering wheel? It is a... Now then, header. Wouldn't you header? Yeah, this is something I wish to have another go at. This was only ever meant to be a temporary header. I have sort of been working on the original single and made it... I'd like to do a single one myself and just change all of the like twisty things. Right, brilliant. So this one will be for me. Let's do everything. Let's grab everything ready. We'll grab the other one too. It needs repairing. It does. It needs repairing. Right, okay. One thing I have done is now got it the right size in the store. So yeah, it's one of those things that I've never really... Obviously, I've done a lot of mods, the Giants mods. I've also done quite a few of my own, but they originally started with the TPS originally. So the XML I used would have been the TPSs and obviously changed completely. But what I mean is I was working with something of a similar size to the TPS. So no, it was this one. So when it appears in the shop, it's not far off what it should be. So what I mean is I've never tweaked that. And then obviously a few mods I've done have been completely different. And I'm not sure you're going to get through. Yeah, I'm not sure you're going to get through the space with the header on. We might need to grab the telehandler. I think this is going to be too big to go through, yeah, that boulevard of trees. So let's drop it, because we know it's going to do it. Yeah, so again, that's another job that I've got to do that's... let's change my steering. Right, let's grab him up the potato field. Grab Yakkers, now it's steering properly. Yeah, so it's amazing the things you do read. I only read that yesterday. I'd got an update and looked at it and saw, oh, it's changed the steering wheel. But I'd forgotten, you know, consciously, on a conscious level. And then at the back of my mind, it was like, I'm sure he said in his changelog that he'd like changed the steering. And I thought, yes, he has. You've still got, it's not actually done your... Still got the original sign at the back. It's supposed to have a decal on that. That it did work. So you can now see the Homer on that one place, but that's it shouldn't be there. It's got a decal on it, or it did have. Right, okay. We need a bit of pay a bit of attention to this beautiful bit of kit. Right, so we want telehandler. Yeah, because that's part of the model. that actual sort of thing, so I had to stick a decal on it to hide it. But the decal, again, it's when Giants do the editor changes, like some of your model that worked fine before now all of a sudden doesn't work fine, and you need to do something to it. Oh, you're too fast, much too fast. Right, yeah, so it's sadly drawing to an end. I am going to be going back onto Pichoniere Valley. I'd like to give that another little bit of love with the, I'm going to like try to get back to Black Sheep Modding's original thing. Obviously I'm going to have to give myself the money back if we're going to do that. We only ever did it because it didn't work. Now obviously the changelog, he has sorted all those things out. No, this is still going to be, I hate using long things like this. You've got to really oversteer quite a lot because they're so long. I was considering making this into a 9 meter. It's maneuvers like this that you think, seriously, you're going to make this into a 9? Well, you've got 12 meter headers and 16 meter headers and 20 meter headers, so I don't think 9, it's only slightly bigger than this. I think any more than a 9. Ooh, well, you see, that has got collisions. Definitely got collisions. Yeah, definitely got collisions on it. I thought it hadn't. I must have added those and forgotten that I've added them. Ooh, careful. It never likes things high. The game mechanics seems to be badly against you if you do that. And this has got a big weight on the back as well. So I think the physics are a bit wrong. I always have done. When you get lift high, you topple over too easy and things like that. But I've got to be honest, Giants on the whole have not done too terribly. Alright, so let's stick that about there, and we will depart. Let's grab that header, and then next session we're gonna do a bit of potatoes and a bit of carrots and a bit of, well, hopefully I'm gonna do it all in one session, but we should see. It might be done in 2 recording sessions, but like you know, like one session. But definitely gonna be ooh, there seems to be rather a lot of weeds on that one. There do, and I missed that. Why did I? Oh, I don't know why I missed that. Did I do the other one? No, we ploughed that one, I remember. Yeah, this one should be fine. So we've got 1 weedy field, unfortunately. The other 2 are fine. 3. In fact, it's the potatoes. Oh, typical. Typically it would be the tates, wouldn't it? Good job, it's going to be a big yield, but it's going to lose a lot as well. Right, anyway, it's too late. The cat's out the bag. Yeah, it's we've done it. The damage is done. I mean, we did do the outfield, but I dropped the ball, which I frequently do. This is just little old me. Yeah. Right, so all that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey. And I'm going to say goodbye for now.